What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you guys with another episode of What's the Word, Dirty Bird. As always, in today's episode, we're going to actually be talking about tomorrow's matchup against the Tennessee Titans, which is a away game for our Atlanta Falcons. We're also going to touch on the trade deadline. We also will get into some fan Q&A as always. We may drop the link for you guys to come in and kind of tell me how you feel about the trade deadline and also how you feel about tomorrow's matchup against the Tennessee Titans. But as you guys come into the chat, please hit that like, hit that subscribe button, share out this content on all the social media platforms. If you would like to follow your boy on Twitter, if you would like to follow your boy on YouTube, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports, which I got running on the bottom of the banner here. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support, as always. But as you guys come in the chat, also say what's up so I can shout you guys out as well. But I'll give you guys a few moments to get in here. But the first topic that we're going to touch on is the trade deadline, because I believe the trade deadline, if I'm not mistaken, is this coming Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. And there's been some interesting names being thrown around out there in the NFL right now. And I want to know, are the Falcons buyers? Are the Falcons sellers? Do you believe the Falcons will stay pat when it comes to the trade deadline? Personally, I think this Falcons team should be buyers. I really think that the Falcons should go out and see if they can bring in another pass rusher, because it's a lot of names out there that's being thrown around, a lot of teams that are in sell mode at this point. But I want to get you guys' thoughts as well on that as well. So we're going to touch on the trade deadline. But first, we're going to jump into the chat really quick. What's going on, Miss Sonia? How Dre Murphy said, what's going on, man? He says, what up, everybody? How everybody doing and feeling on this hot, nice, pretty Saturday afternoon? And I hope you're having a great weekend so far. But what's up to everybody in the chat? My boy Big Ant in the chat, what's going on? He said, Juju on that beat. What's going on, man? Y'all go and hit that like and subscribe button on AFN. They just hit 3,000 subs, and I'm currently on my road to 3,000 subs as well. But what's up, man? I appreciate you joining me. And as I mentioned, you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. But we're going to jump into the first topic of the afternoon or evening. As I mentioned to you guys, right now, the NFL trade deadline, I believe, is this coming Tuesday, which is Halloween. And I really feel like this Atlanta Falcons team should be buyers. If you look at teams like the Philadelphia Eagles, even though they were in the Super Bowl last year, they've been making some big splash signings. Went out and got Kevin Byard from the Tennessee Titans. But they've always been aggressive. Howie Roseman in their front office and their GM has been very aggressive. Is always bringing in as many guys as possible. And you guys know that I'm big on depth, of your team having depth. And I really feel like this Atlanta Falcons team, we have a lot of depth on this roster. But if you can go out and bring in a Montez Sweat or Chase Young, those are the two names that I've been hearing that are guys that they stated, or the rumors are that for the Washington Commanders, that one of those guys is definitely going to be traded, or they're trying to move one of those guys before the trade deadline. And I pretty much think that the writing is kind of on the wall for the Washington Commanders and their head coach, Ron Rivera. I really feel like if they don't make a deep playoff run this season, that Ron Rivera probably will lose his job. I do think that Ron Rivera is a solid coach. As you guys know, he was in Carolina for a while, took them to a Super Bowl with Cam Newton and that team that they had with Luke Kuechly and the litany of guys that they had. But at this point, I do think that because they have new ownership with the Washington Commanders, I really feel like they may move on and want to bring in their own head coach. So I think they're going to kind of start over. So I do think that the only guys that are kind of safe at this point are the guys that they've recently signed, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen. Those are the two guys that's like the staples on their defense. And then we know they have guys like Terry McLaurin, the wide receiver, on the offensive side of the ball. But outside of those like three players, it looks like they're trying to move on from some of these guys. So Chase Young and Montez Sweat are the two guys that their name has been thrown out there kind of on Twitter and been thrown out there by the NFL that, the Washington Commanders could be trying to move one of those guys But out of those two guys, you guys let me know in the chat which one of those two guys you would be interested in, because definitely think that either one of those guys could help this team. Personally, I think I'm leaning towards Montez Sweat over Chase Young, because I believe that Chase Young has had more injuries and has missed more games since they've been in the league. But you guys correct me if I'm wrong. But from my understanding, out of those two guys, I really think that Montez Sweat may be the better of the two just when it comes to injuries. Chase Young has had some serious injuries since he's been in the league, and that's kind of concerning to me. So I wouldn't mind bringing in either one of those guys, because from what I'm hearing, the rumors are that they're only looking for a second or third round pick. And I feel like it'll be worth it for our Atlanta Falcons for the mere fact that you have older veteran guys that you brought in. You brought in Calais Campbell on a 1-year deal. You brought in Bud Dupree, which I believe was on a 1-year deal as well. So I believe if you sign like a Chase Young or you bring in a Montez Sweat, if they come in the second half of this season and ball out, I really feel like those guys are young enough. From my understanding, both of those guys are under 25, if I'm not mistaken, or they're still like in the prime of their career. You could possibly bring in one of those guys, and if they play well, similar to what we're seeing with Jeff Okudah, you may, re-sign those guys maybe to a 2 or 3 year deal after this season. But both of those guys are coming off of their rookie deals. But you guys kind of give me your thoughts on which guys you think the Falcons should go after. If it's out of Montez Sweat and Chase Young, I would go with Montez Sweat. But I believe both of those guys will add depth. And let me see here. Dre Murphy says, but I wouldn't mind another pass rusher, Danielle Hunter from the Minnesota Vikings. Montez Sweat. I take Montez Sweat over Chase Young. Don't know if he's going to stay healthy or not. Yeah, that's my main concern as well. Yeah, I would go Montez Sweat. I mean, if Danielle Hunter is out there for the Minnesota Vikings, I definitely would take Danielle Hunter over anybody currently that's on the trading block, because Danielle Hunter has proven it. He's been a consistent 10 sack guy over his career, double-digit sack guy, and he's been one of those guys that's been a Pro Bowler multiple times. So he's, to me, is like a guy that's really, really good, probably the best pass rusher available on the market. But I don't know if the Vikings are looking to move him, because they did win against the 49ers on Monday Night Football, and their team right now in the NFC, I believe they're in the NFC North with the Bears, the Packers. That division is pretty much still wide open, other than Detroit. But I really feel like I could see the Vikings possibly still trying to stay with Danielle Hunter, at least until the end of this season. And if we did try to trade for Danielle Hunter, I think it might cost too much to get him. I think they're going to want at least the first round pick. And then we're going to also have to pay Danielle Hunter a king's ransom to, keep him on the roster or to keep him in Atlanta. Matt Mike says, Falcons defense is playing well. Someone will demand more money, and I'm not sure if they are ready to pay big money. Yeah, that's exactly my thoughts as well. Yeah, I don't know about a Danielle Hunter. He's going to want, a crazy $100 million type contract, because he's one of those guys that's the upper echelon. But I think you can get like a Montez Sweat or a Chase Young on a reasonable deal, because neither one of those guys have done enough to me in their career to demand that type of money that a Danielle Hunter would want. So I definitely wouldn't mind, Montez Sweat or Chase Young. I don't think we necessarily need those guys, but I think that it's always good to add depth. And if you can get better, and it's not going to cost you too much to do it, I think that you go all out. And I love, what Philadelphia is doing, because last year they were in the Super Bowl and they lost the Super Bowl. But like I said, you never know when someone's going to get injured. A tweaked ankle here, a tweaked ankle there could, have a guy miss a clutch playoff game, a Super Bowl game. You never know. So you always want to have a next man up mentality. But if I can have multiple starters, meaning my second string guys are really starters, that's always good when you have that rotation. And we're seeing that with the Falcons defense this season. The reason we're a top 10 defense right now is because of the depth that we added. Like if you look at the depth that we added with this Atlanta Falcons team, they basically are rotating 2 defensive lines every game. And that's what's keeping Calais Campbell, Grady Jarrett, and those guys fresh. And pretty much we're just grinding and wearing teams out. By the time the fourth quarter comes around, we've seen Onyemata get a sack last week in the fourth quarter. We see, these guys are able to wear down opposing offensive lines and opposing defensive lines. So I definitely think, if you can add somebody to this roster, I wouldn't mind adding, more talent. And Dre Murphy says, "Heck, I wouldn't mind getting Brian Burns from the freaking Kitty Cats, but I know good dang and well they're not going to trade him within the division, though." Yeah, I agree. But as poorly run as Carolina is, they may end up giving us or trading in division. They so poorly run. To me, the ownership right now for the Carolina Panthers and the guys that their GM, I'm not fond of the moves that the Carolina Panthers are making right now. I really feel like they need to go out and add, their leadership. I don't like their GM right now. He's making some questionable moves. I would have been paid Brian Burns. Brian Burns is one of those guys. We've seen him in week one. He's a guy that's had double-digit sacks in his career, but week one he was wreaking havoc to the point where we had to make adjustments just to stop him from coming off the edge and affecting the run game and things of that nature. So I definitely wouldn't mind Brian Burns as well, but he is another guy that's probably going to want a big contract because he's kind of proven that he's one of those guys that's pretty good. And this my brother-in-law. Shouts out to my brother-in-law Darius Robinson with the $9.99 super chat. He says Danielle Hunter is on the table, but you will only have him for the remainder of the year and will cost at minimum a third round pick due to his injuries last year. We know a first is not possible. Okay, yeah. And my brother-in-law, shouts out to him for that $9.99 super chat. I appreciate it. He's actually a Minnesota Vikings fan, so he would know best. He's like an insider for their team. That's like inside information right there because he's a Minnesota Vikings fan. So, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't mind Danielle Hunter, but I think it'll cost the Kings ransom. Like, it may not cost us a lot to trade for him, but it's going to cost us a lot, similar to the Lamar Jackson situation where, everybody wanted us to go after Lamar Jackson, but it's like you're going to have to give up draft picks and you're going to have to give up a lot of money to get him. And Bernard says, I would love to have Montez Sweat or Chase Young in Atlanta. Yeah, I just think that they would add depth. I mean, the depth would be crazy between, you know, the guys that we already have, Lorenzo Carter coming off the edge, Epiketti coming off the edge. We got Grady bringing that pressure up the middle. Calais is coming off the edge. Then sometimes you bring in Caden Ellis off the edge. I mean, you have so many players. Zach Harrison that we drafted this year. We're super, super deep when it comes to the defensive line, but that's the way that I like to see it. And Dave, what's going on, Dave, man? I appreciate the $5 super chat as well. Shouts out to you for that $5 super chat, man. If you got a question, definitely drop your question in as well, Dave, with that super chat next time. So I would love to hear what your comments would be, or if you got one, drop it in the chat here. All right, Dave. So Dave says, I would choose Chase Young. He is younger and I believe are over his injuries and his ceiling is higher. Okay. Yeah, I could go with that. I don't know necessarily if his ceiling's higher, but I know he was a #1 draft pick. And I know coming out, when he was coming out of Ohio State, everybody was saying in that season that the Falcons should trade up and try to get Chase Young because we know we had issues as far as getting after the quarterback. So I wouldn't mind Chase Young here. I mean, I feel like the Falcons, for whatever reason, we give players opportunities to kind of try to resurrect their career. And I think this year we're kind of seeing it with Jeff Okudah. Like Jeff Okudah is playing really, really well. A lot of people are not talking about how well he's playing, like as far as the media, like ESPN, Undisputed and Fox Sports 1 and, those guys, because the Falcons don't get a lot of media coverage. But the average football fan or people that actually understand the game of football, Jeff Okudah is playing really, really well right now. So I really feel like that was a great pickup by our Atlanta Falcons. So shouts out to our Falcons for going out and giving these guys an opportunity and kind of, picking up players where it's kind of like a low risk, high reward type situation where if they come in and ball out, it's kind of like we done struck gold. And I really feel like Terry Fontenot's done a great job so far of bringing in guys to build this team. Like, I really feel like this team is built the correct way. We added a lot of talent, but the guys that we added fit the scheme perfectly. So I definitely wouldn't mind, Chase Young being here as a former #1 pick. And I really feel like Chase Young has a chip on his shoulder. If he were to come to the Falcons and he has these veteran guys to learn from, which I think is huge as well. With us having Grady Jarrett, Bud Dupree, and Onyemata, a lot of the guys that we have on this team, I really feel like they'll be able to help these younger guys that haven't really proven it, the Montez Sweats, the Chase Youngs. I really feel like all they're going to do is help those guys get even better. And shouts out to my boy Mad Mike says we have money. Just AJ Terrell will get paid soon. Lindstrom money will kick in. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we gotta watch. We have to watch our cap because you guys know down the line we have guys that we gotta pay. Like I believe Kyle Pitts has maybe one more year, and then he'll have like his 5th-year option. But I'm sure they're gonna want to pay him. You're gonna have Drake London coming down the line at one point. You may have, Bijan, you may want to pay down the line. It's guys you got to pay. But AJ Terrell is definitely the next guy in line. I think he'll get paid this offseason. And you definitely got to pay AJ Terrell because he's a shutdown corner and he's our number 1 corner. So you definitely got to pay your guys first. And we've seen that with Chris Lindstrom and with Caleb McGarry. They did exactly what they stated that they were going to do as far as paying those guys. They said they were going to pay those guys and pay our guys in free agency first, which I really feel like that's the best way to do it. You keep your guys that you already have happy, and then you pay, other guys after you've taken care of, paying the guys that's consistently balled out for your team and already understand the formula, the ethos of the team. So we've seen that with Grady Jarrett getting paid 2 years ago, and they were restructuring his deal, bringing back Jake Matthews, restructuring him, and then signing Chris Lindstrom to a big contract, signing Caleb McGarry to a reasonable contract to solidify the offensive line. And that's why we're playing so well on our offensive line, because those guys are gelling. And Bernard makes a great point here. He says Richie Grant, Jesse Bates are becoming quite the duo at safety. Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, I said it. I made a video a couple weeks ago talking about Jesse Bates being the best safety in the NFL, and he's proven that to me right now. Because he has no weaknesses in his game, I definitely think that he's one of those guys that's right now, to me, hands down the best all-around safety as far as coverage, tackling, his awareness of understanding where he needs to be on the field, his leadership, just all-around player. I really think that Jesse Bates is the best safety in the league. And let's see here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. And I appreciate everybody that's joined so far. As I mentioned, share out this content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for your boy. And we're going to jump into the next topic. But like I said, it's very interesting to see what's going to happen before Tuesday. I haven't heard any rumblings about the Falcons going out and signing anybody. And I really feel like Terry Fontenot, they're really watching the cap, because we know in our last regime, we kind of overspent money, and that's what put us in, cap hell. So we definitely gotta, juggle this cap the right way and spend money the right way. And let's go ahead and jump into the next topic. So the next topic we're going to talk about is my post-game thoughts, my pre-game thoughts for the Falcons and Titans game that'll take place tomorrow. So as I mentioned, this is going to be a road game against the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans have a really good home field advantage. And we know that Arthur Smith is cut off the cloth of that Tennessee Titans regime, because he was there with Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel, elevated him from tight ends coach up to offensive coordinator before he became our head coach. So those guys have a relationship, and a lot of guys on our coaching staff, they have, they have ties to this Tennessee Titans organization. So this is a really big game for Arthur Smith, even though he's not stating that it's a huge game for him. Anytime you change teams or you go back to play, a place where you've been, an organization that you've been in, of course, all of these players want to go out there and get a win for Arthur Smith. He's kind of like the understudy to Mike Vrabel and a lot of these guys. So I definitely think that this is a huge game. And I kind of want to give you guys like my 3 keys to victory for this game, or give you guys my thoughts. As I mentioned, I really feel like it's going to be a physical game, because the Falcons and the Titans are kind of cut from the same cloth, but I really feel like the Falcons are kind of trending upward, and the Titans this year, for whatever reason, have kind of been trending downward. They haven't really been having a really good season. and I really don't know where they're going. Right now, they have three different quarterbacks that they've been playing: Tannehill, Levis, and Malik Willis. So they've been kind of all over the place with injuries, all over the place with the direction of their team. We know that the bell cow, Derrick Henry, has arguably been the best running back in the league for the last 4 to 5 years in the NFL. And he kind of dealt with injuries, I believe, last year, but he's been one of those guys that's been a workhorse. So my first key to victory in this game is going to definitely be to stop Derrick Henry in this game. We know that Derrick Henry is one of those guys, like I said, if he hits a crease, he's physical, but he also has that breakaway speed where if he gets in open field, he has the speed. A lot of people underestimate Derrick Henry's speed because of his size and how strong he is as far as throwing the stiff arm and things of that nature. But he is one of those guys that can hit the home run. And in this game, we got to stay away from allowing him to get to the second and third levels on the run, in the run game. Now, good news is our Atlanta Falcons is very good at stopping the run. So I'm not too concerned, about us being able to stop the run, because that's been one of our strengths this year because we added the guys that we added in the trenches. But I really feel like in this game, the first, key is definitely going to have to be winning the trenches, stop the run game with Derrick Henry. Don't allow him to get going in this game. They stated that Levis will be the starting quarterback for their team, which he's a rookie that played at Kentucky last year. So I believe this is going to be his first NFL start. So I really feel like that bodes well for our Atlanta Falcons because he hasn't played against he hasn't seen the speed of the league. Yeah, he's played in some preseason games, but we know in the preseason, you really don't scout for other teams. You kind of just leave everything vanilla and you really don't want to show your hand. But in this game, we seen in week 1, the rookie Bryce Young with the Panthers, him throw 2 interceptions, either 2 or 3 interceptions to Jesse Bates. I forget now, but we seen, Jesse Bates was able to bait Bryce Young into throwing those picks. So just looking at a guy like Will Levis, he's one of those guys that has a strong arm, is a guy that can run, but he takes risk, and sometimes he can be inaccurate when he throws the ball. That's one of the things I noticed when I was kind of watching some of his tape when I was doing my draft scouting. Will Levis is one of those guys that has a really strong arm, but at times he can be inconsistent with his accuracy, and he takes risks. So I feel like in this game, the Falcons will be able to kind of pressure him because of our defensive line. And I really feel like in this game, he may throw at least 1 interception in this game, maybe 2. But I feel like we'll be able to kind of rattle him in this game. And I really feel like Ryan Nielsen's going to throw some different looks and different wrinkles that Will Levis hasn't seen because he doesn't have that experience. And I do think that bodes well for our Falcons, and it could lead to disaster as far as turnovers for the Titans. So I think that they're going to have to really lean hard on that running game between Derrick Henry and Tajay Spears. They're going to really have to lean on that running game and lean on that defense. My second key to victory in this game is going to come down to protecting the football. I talked about this on Wednesday night with the Heavy Hitters on Heavy Hitters show on our Heavy Hitters live channel. And just to do a quick plug, y'all definitely go over and hit that like and subscribe button on the Heavy Hitters live channel as well here on YouTube. But I did mention that protecting the football in this game is going to be huge for this Atlanta Falcons team. Like, we're going to have to protect the ball. The last 3 weeks, we've had 3 turnovers in both games, 3 interceptions in the game prior 2 weeks ago, and then three fumbles last week lost by Desmond Ridder. So in this game, we got to clean up these turnovers and we got to protect the football. It's going to be big in this game that we don't allow guys like Jeffrey Simmons, the defensive tackle / defensive end for the Titans. He's one of those guys that can, ruin a game. He's a game wrecker. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted him before the Titans re-signed him. I wanted the Falcons to take a look at possibly bringing him in because he's one of those guys that's a big, powerful, massive defensive tackle. And we know that Drew Dahlman kind of has struggled this year with guys that got that strength, that brute strength in those bull rushes. We know that Drew Dahlman kind of struggles. So in this game, that's kind of going to be the matchup that I'm watching. But I really think in this game, we got to protect the football. Desmond Ridder got to make smart decisions. When he takes off the run, he has to tuck that football high and tight. When he's going in for a touchdown, has to sprint through the tape, as Arthur Smith talked about, and protect the football. I'm not too worried about Desmond Ridder because we've seen this with Drake London last season, that he had a lot of crucial fumbles and crucial moments, and we haven't seen that since last year. Drake London, knock on wood, hasn't had any fumbles this season. He kind of cleaned up a lot of the issues that he was having. He was wearing those long sleeves under his jersey. He stopped wearing those long sleeves, but it's really mental, and then understanding that the NFL game, that guys are going to try to punch the ball out. Guys are not going to give up on plays. This is not college. Guys don't give up. Even at the 1 yard line, Winfield, had the knowledge to sprint out, play through the whistle, and punch. Basically he punched Desmond Ridder's arm, as he was crossing the goal line. So in this game, it's going to be very important that we protect the football and that we win the turnover battle. That's my second key to victory. And then my third key to victory in this game is when you get in the red zone, we got to score points. For whatever reason, the last couple weeks, because we've been turning the ball over, we haven't been putting touchdowns on the board. And I feel like in this game, we're going to have to score touchdowns. When you get in the red zone, to pull away from teams, you can't afford to be kicking field goals. I don't want to see a whole bunch of field goals by Younghoe Koo unless it's a game-winning field goal. I want to see us putting touchdowns on the board. I really feel like in this game, this Falcons team is a better team is when it comes to just the roster. If you look from the first man to the 53rd man on each roster, I really feel like our Falcons team are just a better team overall. And if we want to be a good football team, we got to start stringing together these wins. And I really feel like if we score touchdowns in this game, I really don't think that the Tennessee Titans have the firepower to keep up with this Atlanta Falcons team. I do think that they're a team that's going to try to shorten the game by running the ball and being physical, kind of how we played last year and how we've been playing this year. But I really feel like if we jump out to a lead against them, I really feel like they're going to struggle to score the ball because they don't want to have Will Levis or Malik Willis dropping back to pass a ton of times. But with that being said, I want to hop back into the chat. You guys give me your keys to victory in this game. Give me your thoughts on this game. Let's go here. Let's see here. And Dave says it speaks volumes that Clark Phillips can't get on the field. The play of the secondary has been really good. And that just shows you how deep this team is. Like, that does speak volumes because Clark Phillips was a guy that was making plays all throughout training camp and during the preseason. So for him not to be able to get a helmet in a lot of these games, or only be a guy that's only playing on special teams, that just shows you how deep this Atlanta Falcons team, how deep our team is. And shouts out to Mad Mike. He said we're 60 away from 500. Every post-game show is aired there. So yeah, you guys definitely go over to our Heavy Hitters, the Heavy Hitters live channel. We do our post-game shows after the game, immediately after the game on that channel. And we are 500 away from, 60 away from 500. So y'all go over there and definitely hit that like and subscribe button and help us get to 500. And Dre Murphy says, Jew, I agree with you on containing Derrick Henry. That's one of my 3 keys to victory. Get pressure on Will Levis and Malik Willis and win a time of possession. Yeah, I agree. We definitely got to win the time of possession. We definitely have to get after Malik Willis and Will Levis. And I really feel like if we get out to a lead in this game, that's only going to put more and more pressure on Will Levis to feel like he has to throw the ball and make them feel like they got to put points up. If we're scoring touchdowns, we get up by like 14 points, 17 points. I really feel like at that point, they have no choice but to kind of abandon the run game with Derrick Henry and try to put the ball in the air. And shouts out to the OG Big Sam in the chat. Y'all definitely go hit that like and subscribe button for him over there as well, man. He's a part of AFN as well, the Unholy Alliance. I appreciate you, man, joining me this afternoon or this evening as well, man. So y'all definitely go hit that like and subscribe button. He puts out great content. And he's only have a few videos. He just started his channel, so definitely go over there and show him some love. He's on his way to 1,000 subscribers. And Dreddy, I haven't seen you in a minute, Dreddy, man. What's going on? I appreciate you joining me this afternoon. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. And Yasuke Knight says, Hey guys, should be a good game tomorrow. Yeah, most definitely. This should be a physical game tomorrow. This should be one of those old school type physical bruising type games, similar to the game last week with the Buccaneers. Both defenses balled out. Let's see here. And Tabro says, let CP eat sound defense. Oh, that's your keys to victory. I agree. And what's up to you, Tay, bro? I appreciate you joining me this evening as well. But I definitely agree with you. Like CP, and you heard Mike talk about this in our heavy hitter show on Wednesday night, but he talked about CP being a heartbeat, and I kind of been stating that since like 2 years ago when we first Arthur Smith's first season here. CP was like the offense. If you guys remember, he was like 60-70% of our offense. If you go look at how many touchdowns CP put up his first in 2021 and 2022, he was the main cog on our offense. We did bring in Mike Davis, who was supposed to be the starting running back, but we know that CP basically took the ball and ran with it because Mike Davis, underperformed and underachieved in that first season. And CP kind of just got his opportunity. And once he got his opportunity, he never looked back. Like he became the key ingredient to this Atlanta Falcons team as far as being a downhill physical playmaker. CP is just a magnet for scoring touchdowns and making big plays, whether it's special teams where he's doing kickoff returns, whether it's him catching the ball as a wide receiver, as we've seen him catch it down the sideline against the Saints. Well, when we had Matt Ryan in that first year, where we beat the Saints in New Orleans, he came up with a huge catch down the sideline, catch and run. CP to me is like the heartbeat of the team. Like that dude is special. So I think he's like when we talk about ethos and when you talk about one player that kind of represents what this Falcons team represents on offense and just as a whole, CP would be that player. That dude is tough, dude is physical, and that dude is explosive. So that dude is definitely one of the heartbeats of this Atlanta Falcons team. And this team looks different when CP is out there. Yasuke Knight says Falcons have to score in the red zone and no turnovers and play solid defense. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, those are similar to my keys. If we score in the red zone, if we don't turn the ball over and we play solid defense, I really feel like this game could get ugly. To be real, this game could get really ugly if if we're able to turn them over and put our offense on the short field. I really feel like this game can get ugly because we know that we have a lot of weapons, and now that CP is back, between him, Bijan, and Tyler Algier, we really didn't even see Bijan play last week. And we know how big of a threat he is, especially in the red zone, because of his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield and his ability to, run in open space and elude defenders with his elusiveness. So I really feel like we have, a lot of weapons on this offense that could, can really hurt this Tennessee Titans team. And let's see, Jew, I know you say 2 or 3 plays determine the game, but what 2 or 3 plays can cost us? This is a great question right here. It's really going to come down to turnovers. Turnovers are what kills. Turnovers are backbreakers. Turnovers, not scoring points in the red zone, bad coaching decisions like Arthur Smith going for 2 when we only were down 14 at the time. Those kind of boneheaded mistakes, those are where you see, the 7-point swings, 14-point swings when you don't score points in the red zone. In that game against the Commanders, that really hurt us not getting that 2-point conversion, and then Desmond Ridder throwing that interception in the red zone. That was a back-breaking turnover because if we would get a field goal in that situation at the end of the game, you're not down 8 points if you get that field goal in that situation. So that was kind of the back-breaking type of situation. So that to me was like the 2 or 3 plays that lost that game against the Commanders was that interception that he threw in the red zone. Because if you remember after that, we still got the ball back. And at that point, we wouldn't have necessarily needed a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So I really feel like in this game, it's going to come down to us stopping Derrick Henry, not allowing the explosive plays, him getting a 70-yard touchdown run, us not turning the ball over in this game. That'll be the second key. And then the coaches making smart and wise decisions. If you're in the red zone and it's third down, don't force it. Like the Titans are not a team where you got to put up a ton of points. I really feel like if you get in the red zone and they shut us down first and second and then third down, just kick the field goal. Like it's no shame in kicking a field goal, because a lot of the times I feel like coaches don't understand it's a mental thing. When you don't get points in the red zone, it's a backbreaking for the confidence of the offense. So I feel like just being able to say we put together some type of score and came away with some type of points on long drives, whether it's 3 points or whether it's 7 points, you want to always get points when you're in the red zone. You don't want to walk away with 0 points. And a lot of these coaches are going by these analytics, and it's really hurting a lot of teams, because when you don't score in the red zone, a lot of those games, when you go back and look at it, that field goal makes the difference in winning or losing the game. Those 3 points, when you could have kicked the field goal, but you went for it on fourth down, sometimes turns out to be the difference in the game. So in this game, I feel like even if we don't score touchdowns, I still think we should win this game, because the Titans are not a team that puts up a lot of points. And Dre Murphy says, I heard they got a good defense. I don't know what their defensive rank is. If somebody can look that up for me and tell me in the chat what their defensive rank is, but I know that they always have a solid defense, but I don't really think that they have a lot of marquee names other than Jeffrey Simmons. I can't name no other guy off the top of my head. I know they had some really good guys like David Long, who was their linebacker, but he's with the Dolphins now. And then I know they had Kevin Byard, who was like their second best defensive player, but he just got traded to Philly. So I really don't know a lot of their players. I haven't had a chance to watch the Titans play this year, but I don't really think I don't know what their defensive rank is this year, but I'm definitely gonna have to go in and take a look at that, because I don't know how well they played on defense this year. But I know they don't have a lot of like big name guys. So William Amy says, got to score more in the red zone. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's one of the backbreakers for this Falcons team right now. We got to put up points. We've lucked out with turning the ball over and still winning games, because we lost the turnover battle against the Texans, and then we lost the turnover battle again against the Commanders. We lost that game, but then we lost the turnover battle last week to the Buccaneers. We just somehow pulled it out, even though last week we actually got some turnovers on our own. So that's kind of saved us, because we had the punch out, if you remember, with Nate Landman coming down and punching the ball out in a key situation. And then you had an interception by Richie Grant when they was kind of moving the ball down the field late in the game after Baker Mayfield had that big scramble for like 23 yards. So I definitely agree. We got to score in the red zone, but scoring and stop turning the ball over. If you stop turning the ball over, this team would have put up 20 plus points last week. William Amy says, put this game out fast, no turnovers on offense and defense. Stop Derrick Henry early. Yeah, stop him early and late. Don't let Derrick Henry get going at all. Smother the run game. I want Will Levis to have to win this game. That's my main key in this game. If I'm Ryan Nielsen, I want to put all the pressure I can on this rookie quarterback to have to win this game and make him a part of the game. I don't want to allow him just to hand the ball off to Derrick Henry and allow those guys to go out there, and have their way on the ground. I want Will Levis to have to do more than just play action pass and kind of just throw the ball less than 20 times in this game, because Derrick Henry and Tajay Spears then ran crazy on this, ran crazy on the ground. We got to stop that run game and make Will Levis a participant in the game. And he says, load the box early and make the rookie throw. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, you got to. And we got to get multiple hats to the ball. But like I said, I'm not too concerned about this Atlanta Falcons team. I mean, they haven't given me any reason to feel that they're not going to come into this game ready to play or not ready to come in and stop the run. Our Achilles heel really this year has been allowing explosive plays in key situations. And then just the turnovers on the offense. That's really been the biggest Achilles heel for this team. And Dylan Smith says we got to get Kyle the ball more in space. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that as well. I think they've done a good job the last couple of weeks of incorporating Kyle Pitts and also incorporating Drake London. I really feel like the passing game has looked a lot better. The first couple of weeks, like that Jags game, we looked really, really bad in the first. When we went on that like 2-game skid, we looked really bad throwing the ball against the Jaguars. That was like the worst game as far as us throwing the ball. But since that Jaguars game, we've kind of really improved when it came to Desmond Ritter's found his rhythm. I feel like the plays that we're running, I'm seeing better spacing. And I really feel like at this point, Desmond Ritter's gotten comfortable in this passing game. He's trusting his wide receivers. He's trusting his tight ends that those guys are going to get open. And I've seen him thread the needle a couple times, especially in that late pass in last week's game against to Kyle Pitts. That was like the game winning throw with him putting us in field goal range. That big throw he had to Kyle Pitts, catch and run. And what's going on, Lyrics Mom? She said, "Hey, Jude, just get in here. Do you think the offense can have a big day tomorrow?" Most definitely. I really think that this Falcons team should put up 20. I'll say this team should put up at least 25 points tomorrow. At least 25 points, because I really don't feel like the Titans, I really don't feel like they're going to be able to score with us, to be honest. And then they just got rid of Kevin Byard, who is one of the staples on their defense on the back end. So I really feel like tomorrow you could end up seeing some miscommunication on the back end, because I don't know who's got that backup safety. I know that they swapped safeties and they traded, I believe, Edmonds from the Eagles to the Titans when they traded Kevin Byard, which was the Eagles starting safety. But I don't know how fast he's going to be able to pick up the playbook for the Tennessee Titans. And then I don't know how well they're going to be able to communicate. It takes time. When you're in a secondary, it takes time to learn how to communicate and learn, the different language that they're speaking. The concepts are pretty much the same, like cover 2, cover 4, cover 6, whatever they're running over there. But he still got that chemistry where sometimes you got to pass off routes and stuff like that in certain situations during crossing routes and stuff like that. And I really feel like that's what we may be able to hit them, with a big pass play, because they don't have that chemistry and they no longer have that voice on the back end. Like Jesse Bates on the back end for our Falcons defense is the voice of reason back there. He's the guy that makes sure everybody's lined up. He's the guy that makes sure that he's like the last line of defense. So Kevin Byard was kind of that for the Tennessee Titans. So I really feel like that's going to hurt them. And also Kevin Byard is one of the better tackling safeties. He's a physical guy. So I really feel like they lost one of their key players on that defense. And I really feel like that could expose the secondary tomorrow. And Dre Murphy says, "I heard Tajay Spears been doing his thing too." Oh yeah, Tajay Spears is a beast. Yeah, I believe 6-Man K Styles actually did a video on Tajay Spears when we were doing the draft, when we are getting ready for the draft. He talked about Tajay Spears coming out of Tulane, that he was one of those guys that was a really good running back. So I heard that he's pretty shifty. Like I mentioned, I haven't seen any Tennessee Titans games this year, so I can't really give my stamp of approval as far as how good he's been playing so far in the league. But I did watch some tape of him when he was coming out, like his collegiate tape, and he was one of those guys that was explosive. He made a lot of big plays for Tulane. And let's see. When maybe say, "I agree, get Kyle Pitts early in the run game and take some deep shots." Yeah, we definitely gotta start opening up the offense. And we've seen over the last couple of weeks, we've seen them take a shot to Van Jefferson 2 weeks ago. And we've seen Scotty Miller last week get by and run down the field, down the middle of the field, and make a big catch down the field, and a great throw by Desmond Ridder. So I think we're going to start seeing more of that as the season continues to progress. I expect to see these guys get more opportunities. And then plus we brought back DirtyBird. So DirtyBird is another guy that can also make deep catches down the seams. And let's see. All right, so if you guys want to start dropping your questions in, I'll drop the link if somebody want to come in here and just give me their thoughts on the game tomorrow, of how you guys are feeling in regards to the game. I definitely let y'all hop in for like the last 15-20 minutes of the show. If y'all want to come in and chat with your boy, I definitely let y'all come in here and chat with me. I'm gonna drop the link. Give me 1 second here. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. We're gonna drop this link for y'all. But if y'all have questions, go ahead and start dropping your questions in the chat as well. Let's see here. And OG said, "Do you think the effect of the team by CP84 is a real thing?" I definitely do. Yeah, I definitely think that CP is one of those guys where I think it's just a momentum type thing, and I think that CP, his physicality, I really feel like his effect that he has on the game is he gives energy. Like after he makes a big run, he finishes off defenders. Like if you going back and look at the game last week, he did a good job of lowering. He does a good job of lowering his pad level where when guys come up to try to make a big hit, he's usually initiating the contact. And, he had a nice run where he basically cut in and cut back, cut out and cut back in. And then Winfield was coming up to try to make a tackle, and he basically just lowered his pad level and just basically trucked him. We seen that last year again against the Chargers, where he basically just bulldozed the linebacker for the Chargers. I believe it was Tranquil. He just lowered his pad level, and he understands how to finish off guys. So I really feel like that's the difference when it comes to CP. What makes him special? And William maybe said we got to play with urgency. Yeah, I completely agree. We definitely got to play with urgency. Yeah, I definitely as I mentioned, y'all drop y'all questions and give me one moment. I'm gonna see if I can drop the link. It's not letting me drop the link for y'all. But if you want to jump in, give me 1 second so I can drop the link. All right, thank y'all, man. I was trying to build the plane while I was in the air. We got one in the back. Let's see. What's
What's
going on?
going on? What's going on, Zoo Talk Sports, man? What's going on,
Hey,
man?
what's happening, man?
What's up, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. Keep doing your thing, man. Y'all hit the subscribe button, donate to my boy Zoo Talk Sports, man. Cause
Did you freeze? I think you might have frozen, William.
oh, you can hear me now,
Yeah, I can hear you now, man. How you feeling about this game tomorrow, man? What you got for the?
man. I feel like after we keep the video, I feel like the Falcons can win this game. I'm very confident in this team. Like you were saying earlier, it started out with the trenches. I need Drew Darman, Caleb McGregor, and this whole front five to step up because they got a good material on the defensive line in Tennessee with Jefferson and them. But I feel like we don't have to use Bijan Robinson like running the ball too much because that the key on that too. So I really expect us to put CP more, put them in the slot, put them in motion, stuff like that. Be creative, confuse the defense, keep on the heels, let Tyler Gel and CP, start the runs. And I feel like we can use Big John Robinson like in the second half, like going to third or fourth quarter. Like once our defense run them out and use Drake London, them big body receivers, start throwing them early in, let them get them critical downs, keep the chain moving, and put us in short yard finish and tackle them. I think it's gonna be a long day for Tennessee. We do that, and on defense, man, I'm proud of our defense playing right now because they set the tone for this whole year. I expected us to get some turnovers early, stopping Derrick Henry, Tajay Spears. We got to watch out because he like do wheel routes and crossing routes. So I hope our inside linebackers Nick Landman and Ellis pick up what they do. But I expect us to get some turnovers with Richie Grant and AJ Terrell. And overall, man, we're a better team right now. I just feel like Nashville, they're trying to find their way, but I just don't think they're gonna be ready for this Falcon team.
Okay, I got two questions for you. So, who do you think is going to be the X factor? Like, who's your player for the Falcons that you think will be the difference maker in this game? It could be offense or defense, or you can give me both.
I can use both. One, I could say Desmond Ritter. We know we had turnovers 3 weeks back to back. I just want to see Desmond Ritter make his progressions, not to get too not saying get too excited. Just don't let the defense get to protect what we doing. Just mix them up. Get the team moving forward, keep chains moving, keep the pocket clean, and he'll be fine. And two, I'm gonna say Grady Jarrett, man. He might X factor because Grady Jarrett set the tone, and I think Jermaine Dupri kind of questionable, but if he play. That's my two on defense. I'm gonna say Jermaine Dupri, and I'm gonna say Grady Jarrett.
Okay. So Bud Dupree and you said Grady Jarrett. Okay. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that. But I'm gonna let somebody else jump in here, William. But I appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Keep doing your thing, man. Y'all should try and cash out Utah Sports, man.
I
All right,
appreciate it, man.
rise up.
There he is. What's going on, OG?
What's happening, Sir Jew?
Hey, what's
What's
happening?
happening?
What you got for me? What you thinking about the game tomorrow?
Well, my main thoughts has been, seeing as how, Mike Vrabel kind of sort of gave us some bulletin board material off his little podcast the other day. We're gonna be a little amped up. We're gonna be a little amped, especially on the offensive side of the ball. He was kind of sort of disrespectful with it,
Okay, so I didn't catch it. I didn't catch what he said. So give me a little bit of what he said. What bulletin board material?
I'm taking it because he really said it without saying it, because the only thing that he really mentioned about our offense was Tyler Algier. He didn't mention Bijan. He didn't mention CP. He didn't mention the pass game at all.
Oh, okay.
At all.
So he did what that safety or corner did. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I'm like, y'all really gonna come in there with that mindset like that? I mean, because it's real different. I think we're gonna be just as physical as we was last week. I'm feeling like this gonna be a 17-3 or 17-6 type of game.
Okay, so you think it's gonna be low scoring? I could see that. I could see that because we both are like running teams. We had the same mentality. Real talk.
I mean, and with because our thing is no real hurry. He's on one of them. Let the game come to him. You know what I'm saying? To get Diz in a rhythm, because he called a good game last week.
Right.
He called a good game, and I feel like him and Ritter are getting on. They're getting on a good page with him. So I think I don't think it's gonna be any mistakes. I think the old line is gonna keep progressing the way it has. Dalman's showing, but he got to get the snaps together. Dalman got to get the snaps together. He got to get the snaps together.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be like something like 17-3, 17-6, because our defense is like lockjaw right now.
Okay.
Our defense is like lockjaw. We haven't given up a rushing touchdown to a running back at all this season.
Yeah, I seen that. I think only said run one rushing touchdown. I think that was a quarterback, right?
That was a quarterback. We ain't giving up none to no running backs.
Yeah.
I think we hold that run game down and make them have to throw. And the way Okuda is playing, Grant is starting to see the light. Jesse is Jesse, AJ is being AJ, and I think we got our middle linebacker tandem right now got to be at least top 5 in the league right now. The way they playing, Ellis and Landon.
Yeah, what I like about them is they just downhill. That's why they got rid of Michael Walker. They're downhill. If you seen the one play, I think it was last week, where both of them they shot the gap. They both made tackles for loss from the running back in the backfield. So they downhill. I love that about them. And the defensive line is what we're seeing. The defensive line is making plays and they just shooting the gaps. That's what you're supposed to do.
Mignata. Big O.
Yeah, he's a problem. But who's your X factor, Big Sam? Is it on offense and defense? Give me your X factor.
Offense. I think it's gonna be CP again this week.
Okay.
On the defense, I think this might be a Jesse Bates game.
Yeah, I see that. I said the same thing early in the if you were on when I got on early in the show. I said it puts me in the mind of the Carolina game. Will Levis just doesn't have that NFL experience, and you know that Jesse Bates will bait you into an
And
interception.
they're going to be playing both the quarterback. That never works well in the NFL. That never works well.
What they say, if you got two quarterbacks, you don't have no quarterback. You got both,
Right.
you don't have one because you don't have confidence. Like you either name somebody. If somebody get hurt, that's one thing. But like you said, trying to go in, we seen that with Taysom Hill. It doesn't work when you're trying to play multiple quarterbacks. It doesn't work.
Right. Well, that's my take on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna jump on off of here and let you do what you do.
You said score prediction is 17-16.
It's 17-6.
Okay, 17-6.
Yeah. Hey, he left me on that platform. Oh.
They got rid of me, man. Dirt Cutter came in here.
Oh.
17-6. Okay.
Yep.
I can see that. I can see that. Low scoring, physical. I can definitely see that.
Yep.
Hey man, go ahead and plug yourself real quick too, Big Sam. Let them know about your channel, man.
Okay, is OGN TV. You know, I'll be on Monday. You know, Mad Monday with the OG at 10:30 a.m. You know, Tuesday nights, Realistic OG with Big Truth. Wednesday, one with Wicked Wednesday, DirtyBird T. And on Friday, you know what I'm saying, Falcon Friday, High Noon Madness at noon.
Look, man, he doing it almost every day of the week. Y'all go and hit that subscribe button for the man, man.
Yeah, I just hit 100 subs, so my next mission now is 200.
Hey, look, he's looking for 200 subs. Y'all everybody go over and show him some love, man.
200, baby, 200. Let's go.
200.
Appreciate
on the way to 1K.
the
Nope, most definitely, OG. I'm gonna let somebody else hop in. I appreciate it.
Okay.
What's happening?
What's up,
going
dude?
on, man? What's
Man,
going
I
on?
wanted you to let me stay up there with my man OG Big Sam. That's my guy, man.
Oh, you want to talk to Big Sam? My fault.
But that's cool though. It's cool.
I can bring him back.
I dropped it in the chat.
I think he's still in the back. Hold on, let me see. I can bring him back. There you go.
OG Big Sam, what's up, dude?
What up, Daddy? What up? Hey, appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love.
This 3 Dirty, you know, we be chatting it up, man, on them lives, man. I love them. But look, let me say something right quick, man. With, you know, to piggyback on what y'all was talking about, what Vrabel was talking about, the only thing that he said he worried about is Tyler Algier. Man, that guy selling book tickets, man. But check this out. He knows Arthur Smith got an ego. And if he says, oh man, we ain't worried about nothing else but Tyler Algier, he knows Arthur Smith is going to try to prove him wrong and run the mess out of Algier. Think about it.
Well, you know, it's a possibility, but the way the run game went last week, in the physicality of the two beasts, you know what I'm saying, and then we, you know, got the outside guys, you know, filling it right. And KP is starting to look like a tight end now.
Oh yeah,
he's starting to look like a tight end now. But you know, so
he don't want Smith to call them plays.
Look, the problem with that is Arthur Smith knows about everything over there. Exactly. Nothing has changed over there since he left.
That's why
has changed over there since he left. Yeah,
right.
You know, Vrabel cut from that Belichick tree, man. He trying that, trying that psychological warfare. Yeah. But here's the problem with that. You know, Arthur Smith in himself is cerebral. Arthur Smith is petty. Arthur Smith is with the doo-doo.
Yeah, he is now. He paid it now.
Okay, so you know, and he's been getting in his bag here lately over the last couple of weeks. So I'm just saying, be careful with what you ask for, and you know what I'm saying, and what you say. I'm just saying, you got a man that has some weapons, and he's starting to feel out what he can do with each one of them. You know, and it's starting to turn into something.
Right.
You know, they're already nervous because this defense is mutating into something out-of-worldly. Okay. Right. You know, then this offense The only problem is just young mistakes.
Well, that was
Young
coming.
mistakes. That's all.
That was
That's
coming.
all. The offense is running. The offense is going. You know what I'm saying? It's just young mistakes. That's all. That's all. We didn't know where to hurt. Everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong in these first 7 games.
And it's on tape.
And we are aware. A game of 500, you know what I'm saying? 2 games up in the division. With the division lead, what is there to be mad about?
Nothing. We handle our
future looking bright. The rest of the year looking bright.
Yeah, we just handle our business. Like I said, we handle our business. We in good shape. But I want to get 330. Man, give me your X factor. Your X factor for the game, and what's your thoughts?
The X factor for me is the offense. The offense in the first half. We need to put up about 21 points first half. We get between 17 and 21 points in the first half. And you know how the defense play in the second half. The defense is probably top 3, top 2 in the second half.
It's actually the second half of games, we have number 1 defense in the league right now.
Yes.
Second half.
Now, if we can put up 21 points the first half, it might be I'm talking about a blowout.
I already said I feel like 17 points gonna win this game.
Ooh.
Yeah. And we don't have to do a lot. I was saying that earlier. Like, I really feel like if you get a lead, force Will Levis to play. Make him be a factor in this game. Don't let that running game beat us. If you let Derrick Henry get going and Tajay Spears get going, or you let them get the lead, all they're going to do is try to shorten the game. They're going to just keep running the ball and try to shorten the game. Good news is we got a good defensive line where teams were able to do that the last couple years where we couldn't get the ball back because we couldn't stop anybody. Now it's like we can got 3 and out.
Yep.
They get the ball back. That's why I say if you get in the red zone against the Titans, you don't even have to score touchdowns necessarily. I want us to because I want to start creating the right habits. But in this game, I really think, like Big Sam was saying, it's not going to take a whole lot of points. As long as we don't beat ourselves, it's not a whole lot of points to win this game.
A 10-point lead in this game with us is going to feel like a 20-point lead.
Exactly.
That was right. So do you think that Arthur Smith can actually coach a high-scoring game?
Oh, yeah.
Or
he's already did that. He's already did that.
He's already did that.
We put up 24 in week 1. We put up 25 in week 2. I mean, what? Are we falling in love with window dressing? Is what it? No, I'm
talking about maybe 30 points.
Okay, 5 more on top of that. But
that's a hard 5, OG. That's a hard 5.
It don't have to be. We really don't even need it. Right, we got this animal over here on the defensive side of the ball, and y'all talking about running up Madden points.
No, I'm just wondering because it might come a time that we need to do it to be able to keep that track meet.
This what I'll say to that. This what I'll say to your comment. The reason I think that we can put up 30 points is because the defense will put us on a short field. We just got to capitalize on it. And that's how you double up teams. Now, if you're saying go 80 yards, go 70 yards, like we had to do in previous years with Matt Ryan, and then last season because our defense wasn't stopping people.
Right.
It's difficult. But if you look at the teams, and it's funny to me because I've been sitting back thinking about it. Everybody talks about Kansas City. They have a great offense. But what's turned that Super Bowl game around? It wasn't Pat Mahomes. It was that forced fumble. The defense had that forced fumble on Jalen Hurts. The linebacker Bolton takes it back for a touchdown. Those are the type of plays that change the game and basically help your team get to the 30-point mark. I really think Arthur Smith can do it, especially looking at what we've done as far as starting to throw the ball a little more vertically down the field. Because if you look at how we play games, we try to shorten the game as well. That's why I say get a lead and then just run the ball. We seen that last week against the Bucs. We should have scored 28 points last week. You had 2 red zone touch. That was 14 points got taken away that we should have had. The 2 fumbles on the 1-yard line. That's 14 points right there.
We would have had 30. But look, I gotta keep saying this defense. Bro, we are what 4th in the league not the conference, not division, in the NFL in third down defensive percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when your defense is doing that, all you got to do is get out there and move the sticks, move the sticks, move the sticks.
Don't turn it over.
That's that old school. That's the old 75, 76 Steelers, Raiders type stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That hard nose, bring your lunch pail and your hard hat, and smash that thing. Defense get out there, get up off the field, and we run off some more clock. But see, everybody want this. They want this greatest show on turf thing. They want this Air Coryell thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
but you know what?
Points. They want the style.
To be honest, when we turned that ball over and gave Tampa that short field in the fourth quarter last week, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had my doubt, but they proved me wrong. That defense came through.
Yeah, I had my doubts too after Baker Mayfield ran out the pocket for 23
exactly.
yards. I was like, I didn't.
He ran out the pocket on a good move by Evan Ketty. Because that's how he ended up going out of the pocket. Because Evan Ketty put that Dwight Freeney on the old boy and was up through there.
Yeah, he put him in the turnstiles. Yeah, he definitely did a nice little spin move on him. But when he got out the pocket, I was like,
I would never doubt him again. Because in the fourth quarter, I said, well, maybe they'll score and we'll go ahead. We'll because I didn't have the lack of confidence that we were not going to get a drive. But I was like, is the defense going to be able to hold up?
Yeah.
But they did.
Now, honestly, real talk. Honestly, I think we got the best. Outside of Cleveland, we got the best defense in the league. Cleveland on some other stuff right now.
Hey, Cleveland got a mutant plan for their team. That's like
But you know what? You know what has happened? Just in my opinion, Jesse Bates has changed a lot of play calling over 15 yards. He showed the league the first two games, you put the ball out here 15 yards, I'm coming to get it. So this teams are not they're not challenging that guy. They're going away from Jesse Bates.
They about to stop challenging Okuda right now in a little bit.
Hey, Okuda is that dude right now. He's showing.
You're starting to figure out. I mean, a lot of people are starting to say no fly zone. I mean, because Okuda on one side, AJ on the other. I mean, even though the game was what it was between him and Evans, and that's normal. Evans does that to pretty much every cornerback.
That's Evans.
Okay, I mean, but a lot of that stopped in the second half.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Outside that one big play, Evans didn't do much.
Yeah.
Outside that one touchdown, he didn't do
And you know what? AJ got some calculated holdings.
Look,
early on to let Evans know this is what it's gonna be like all day.
Look, that's what them twos and meetings with the defensive backfield by themselves, no coaches allowed. You know what I'm saying? Would do for you.
Yeah.
Hey man, take a 5-yard penalty, but let him know you're gonna be tired in the fourth quarter, so you're not gonna be able to go out and get them passes. I'm gonna weigh you down, and that's what he did.
That depth is showing. I've been saying it. That depth of this team is starting to shine through.
Right.
You see it in the fourth quarter, we're wearing teams down, and that's why I kind of agree with Big Sam when he says this is the best defense in the league. It's like they're right there behind Cleveland. Like we're right. We definitely top 3, top 5.
Yes, we're number 3 right now.
Yeah,
we're number 3 right now.
Yeah, our depth, because I don't want to wish injury on nobody, but I really feel like Myles Garrett go down. You know what Cleveland don't have? Like we got guys, man. Like Lorenzo Carter don't even start. We got guys where when we take out our whole defensive line and put in a whole new 4-5 guys.
When that Bud Dupree, Lorenzo, Evan Ketty crew comes in there on third down,
that's tough.
I'm getting excited a little bit.
Then you got Kate Ellis who can also come off the edge or come in on the blitz. You got Nick come downhill and not,
that boy Landon has been, man. Yeah, I ain't even gonna front. When Troy went down, I was like, oh man, this just what we needed. I was praying for just no injury. I done seen enough injuries over the last decade. When Troy went down, there. But that boy Landon, God bless him. God bless him.
He's serious. He hungry too, and he know it's his shot. He know this is his shot.
He a playmaker. That punch out last week. That's why I said that this defense. When we say 2 to 3 plays in a game, that play was crucial, and it was just like smart. This he's noticed. Oh, this a little wide receiver out here running, not paying attention. Let me punch this ball out.
But Peanut Tillman somewhere smiling and looking at that play. Peanut Tillman somewhere smiling.
Yeah. So give me your lunch, boy.
Boy, look, hey man, Big O again across that on that front. Who myself, I said Big O was the player. You know what I'm saying? He was the player of the week to me.
Yeah,
he was the player of the week because he was up there. He was up there caving that line and moving the line of scrimmage. He was sitting in the back of the backfield and and closing down them doors and making life easy. You know what I'm saying, for Grady, making life easy for Calais, making like easy for the linebackers. So that right there.
Then you're bringing London in on the switch out. You're bringing London in there. He got that weight down in there. He a big body, and then he wearing them down too. So I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, you can't. We overwhelming teams with our depth. That's why I said that depth. I've been waiting for this team to get the big bodies. And Onyemata, what I love about him is he's just an intimidator. If you notice, it was one play where he came in. He'll take a roughing the passer call. Like he comes in, he be putting hits on them quarterbacks even after they didn't throw the ball. So I'm like, he's just like the bodyguard of this team. Like he's that intimidator where you start to flinch. I don't care what quarterbacks start to flinch because he's just that guy that he gonna intimidate you. I love about
look, but Baker will make that tap dance.
Yeah, man. Hey, if I see that big man coming at me, I couldn't even blame him. I said I got to get out the pocket too, because that Joker, man, Onyemata, he
yes. I want to say one more thing. It's looking like the move to put this defensive staff together, to me, was the free agency move of the offseason. I'm just saying, Nelson, Gray, and all them cats.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And we made the right pickups. The guys that we brought in, they fit.
Yes.
The guys that we got, we didn't get a lot of people like Onyemata. These guys, Ellis. These guys are not like the names that everybody wanted, but they fit the ethos. And I don't know if you guys got to hear. Actually, I think it was Drake London. Y'all probably didn't hear, but he was on the podcast with Chris Long, a Howie Long's son that used to play with the Rams back in the day. Yeah. And London talked about the guys that we bring in. He said, we don't look for guys that are like the prissy. We're not bringing in guys like that. We bringing in guys that's going to fit the cloth and the ethos. You kept hearing Terry Fontenot say, we're looking for them tough dudes, them dudes that going to change games, but you don't notice, but they do the dirty work. They're not looking for these guys that want the ball. Like he talked about, we don't want guys that are going to come in here and be divas. On this team, we got guys that's grit and grind. And that's what I love about them. Got Nate Landman, Ellis. You see these guys on the street, the average NFL fans don't know these guys. These guys do dirty work. These are real football players. These guys do that dirty work, man. These guys are fearless. And that's what we need on the team, them glue guys. We don't got a whole bunch of the big name guys, but when you look at the guys that are out there doing that dirty work, these guys, we got a lot of glue guys, and this team just fit perfect. They mesh perfect, and that's what's making the difference.
Well,
but, on my score prediction, I think I'm not gonna put a score up. I think we're gonna win by 9.
We're by 9?
Like a 13 to 22, 23 somewhere, and it depends on the turnover ratio.
All right, yeah, I'll take it. Hey, look, any way we can get a win, even last week, I say, look, we won by field goal. You take the win. It's a division rival. Any way we can get a win, if it's 1 point, I want to see this team continue to build, but good teams find a way to win.
Right.
Find a way to win, no matter how you get it, long as you get it.
All day. You know what I'm saying? If you got more than the opposing team when the clock strike 000, that's all that matters.
That's it. Because if we lost that game, they would have been praising Baker Mayfield. If we would have lost that game last week and he would have came up with that game-winning drive, it would have been talked about how we melted down again in a crucial moment. It would have been, Baker Mayfield is resurrected his career. He made this, this great.
I mean, and that's what they was wishing for, because he was all they talked about. They weren't really talking about us, that we won the game. They was talking about, Baker Mayfield struggle. And I'm like, really? This okay, fine. Y'all keep doing that. Keep doing that. Hey. When we get on down here around week 15 and 16, and then y'all gonna be, well, where did this come from? How did this happen? You would have known that if you pay attention to who's winning the games instead of who's losing the games to us.
Mm-hmm. Hey, OG Big Sam. Hey, look, man, I want to meet you guys at the Benz, man, the next time y'all down there. So you need to, shoot it out there. I live in North Carolina, and I go to all the home games. But I want to meet you guys, man, down there about it. What is it, Bird Nest? Hey, man, just shoot it out there, man, when y'all do y'all last show before the game, and let me know where y'all going to be at. And I'll be down there. We may take some pictures, man, hook up, talk a little football, man, before the game starts.
Well, you just said it on the right show. I guarantee you somebody else done heard it.
Okay.
They done heard it. Trevor.
Okay. 10-4. All
right, gentlemen, get off of here and let you do your thing, man.
Yeah, Drew. Hey, appreciate you letting me come on, buddy.
Hey, no problem, man. I'll be doing this all the time, man. Every Saturday. If y'all want to hop in towards the end of the show, I would like to bring you guys on. So I want to hear y'all perspective.
Okay.
Y'all hear me talk all the time.
Oh,
man.
And look, little inside joke for OG Big Sam. Stop beating that dead horse, man. You know what I'm talking about.
All right, fellas.
That's an inside joke.
There he is, the wolf. What's up, baby?
What's going on?
Hey, we chilling, man. What you got for us?
Hey, man, I'm glad I caught you. I'm watching the heavyweight fight. You know what I'm saying? Watching the heavyweight fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Lounging. You know what I'm saying?
Stop it up, baby.
I just came through to show you some love, man, because I won't never catch you, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, Wolf, just to let you know, man, I just started doing this every Saturday. Like, I coach youth basketball, my son's basketball team. So
that's what's
I've
up.
been real busy, but today was his last game. We got the dub. So, we're doing this every Saturday.
Congratulations.
At 5 Eastern time. So
yeah, that's what they told me, man. That's why, you know what I'm saying, one of the people that I definitely want to sit down and talk about what's going on with just everybody, and
man,
the controversy I be doing and stuff like that is just because I think like when you have different opinions about the organization, some people might take it a little to heart, because I don't live in Atlanta. You feel me? I'm not from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? My sister been living in Atlanta for about 30 years. My mother just bought a house down there in Woodstock. So I know the cultures is mad different. You see what I'm saying? So, sometimes when I say stuff, it's just because that's how I feel. You know what I mean? I feel,
man, you passionate, bro.
Yeah. And
there's nothing wrong with being passionate, bro.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though, Drew, about content creation, right? Here's the thing, right? When you have a team that you cheer for 17 weeks, even for 52 weeks out the year, right?
Yeah.
You got to be creative, which means every week you got to have a theme, or you have to have a voice, because sometimes it's crowded. I don't want to always break down the games. I want to also break down what the organization is going through, right? What I don't think there's anybody that touched on the Arthur Blank statement but myself. You know what I mean? And I think that was a very important topic to discuss as just people, right? Just as just people, as human beings. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's ever gonna get me off my square as far as to how I feel about the team. I think that the organization being around for such a long time and not having a winning percentage, a good winning percentage, I think is detrimental to how you root for the team and what you expect for the team. Right. And my expectations are high, just like Arthur Blank expectations are
Most
high,
definitely.
right? So that I think that everybody gets lost in translation because of our styles and how we promote certain stuff. Me personally, I always want to have a conversation where it's going to be engaging, not only for me and you, but the people in your chat, right?
Right. Oh
Subscribe,
yeah, man.
so I think that the Tennessee Titans game should be a game where we need a 34-0 game.
Okay.
When's the last time the Falcons had a 34 to anything game? I
Right.
think it's time to steamroll, and I
Okay.
think it's time to put this NFC South in a chokehold. And I think that having a 19-16 game is pretty, having a 13-10 game is pretty, but no, I need a 34-0 game. I need total dominance. I want to watch the game in the fourth quarter, and I want to be bored.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know?
Hey, I completely agree, man. I mentioned this last week on our after show. Like I think it was the heavy hitter show Wednesday night. Like I want to see this team like stop winning the game, losing the game, winning the game, losing the game, staying at 500, but let's like dominate. But at the end of the day, I'll take a win any way I can get it. But I love your passion, Wolf. Like, hey, like you say, you're not from Georgia. I'm not from Georgia either. My people from Chicago, believe it or not. So I understand. Yeah, we from the Chi, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I live in Florida now, but all of my family, my parents, believe it or not, were neighbors. So
yeah. Listen, look, my sister, my sister, when she comes up here, and I take her, we go, back to the neighborhood and stuff. She says hi to everybody.
Yeah.
And like people find that weird as stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like she's saying hi to everybody. And my sister's mannerisms is she from the South.
Yeah.
She's not from up here no more.
Right.
And you have to remember, when I decided to choose a team, I could have chose any team, right, Drew? Drew, I could have chose the Giants, the Jets, because I live 10 minutes away from them.
Yeah, man.
My whole thing was, it was a style. See, up north, we dress, we get fly. Jerry Glansville was fly as hell.
Yeah.
One of the flyest head coaches in the NFL has ever seen. The Falcons changed the game when it comes to that. And I know some people give Michael Vick such a hard time, but Michael Vick changed the country.
Oh, yeah.
The country.
Yeah, man.
Not just the South, but he changed the country. You know what I mean, Drew? And that was the passion that I fell in love with first. It wasn't really the X's and O's, Drew. You know what I mean? It wasn't really the X's and O's. And I always tell people, like, when you from Chicago, Florida, already.
Yeah, man. Chicago, Florida, NVA, man. I've been everywhere. My dad was in the military. So
there you go.
When you be talking on your channel, man, everything you pretty much be saying about the streets and stuff, I know that, man.
Yeah, because I gotta fight on my own up here, Drew. Ain't no fight up here.
Yeah. Hey, I was the same way. I was in VA. I grew up in VA. So, but all my family's in Chicago. But it's like either you're a Cowboys fan, my wife's a Cowboys fan, or you're a Commanders fan. Like that's how I work in VA. Right. It was rare that you seen Falcons fans until Michael Vick got drafted because he went to Virginia Tech and he was from that VA area. But outside of that, you either Cowboys, everything was front runner. Lakers, because the Virginia don't got no sports team. So it's the Yankees, the Lakers, the big teams, Duke, North Carolina in basketball. Like you got to have all of those teams that everybody likes. So when I became a Falcons fan, I was going through it, man, because everybody's either Cowboys or Commanders. That was pretty much
and that's why I be saying, like, sometimes it might be a disconnect, but I get it because sometimes it's like they might be a culture disconnect.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that bugs me because like if you've been on the East Coast, Drew, it even like in the 70s, 80s, there really wasn't no segregation. You know what I mean? Like other states. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And those are type of conversations that I do like look forward to having with people like yourself and other content creators, because you have to remember the South was segregated for a long time. It was, whites on this side, blacks on this side, Latinos on the other side. So when you try to bring that together and you have an old way of thinking, it's hard, because of how the culture is. And you might say something and they might be like, well, Wolf, why do you feel like that? Or why are you saying that? And it's because, for us, it's like, okay, it's out front on the line. Like if you are East Coast dude and it's out front on the line, there's no subliminal shots, there's no nothing. It's either you're gonna say it, we're gonna talk about it, and then that's it. You know what I mean? We get over, we get past that. So, but I love what you do with the heavy hitters, love what you guys do over there, love how you guys break down the game. Love your content. I hope one day that you could come over to my channel so we can have a conversation. And it'll be a type of conversation where I can include all types of stuff and just ask questions about, what you do, how you came up and all that stuff, bro. So
we could definitely chop it up. Like I told you, man, you can always chop it up with me, man. Like I said, I got love for everybody. It's the same thing with Mike. Mike is just passionate. Like you say, you passionate. That's why I always call you the promoter, man. I be laughing because when you had him and Slid on your show, I'm like, Slid is the same way. I've been on the show with Slid. It was me, Mike, all of us. He came on the ESPN show, and Slid is the same way. He's not like, he ain't gonna break it down X and O. He's a fan. You know what I'm saying? He's a fan. So everybody's channel is different. I'm more of an X's and O's guy. Right. But before I became an X's and O's guy, the reason I became a Falcons fan is because of Michael Vick. Like you said, Michael Vick from the same area that I grew up in. It was Michael Vick and Allen Iverson. Both of them are from Virginia. And both of them, if you think about it, in the NBA, Iverson changed the game. Tattoos, cornrows.
Talk.
You see what I'm saying? It was more than just his game. It was his swag. It was everything about him. It was his off the court persona. You know what I'm saying? That's what Mike Vick.
Hey, Drew, I could drive you. I could drive with you, right? I could drive with you. I know my dog barking, and that's the cue. I could drive with you to a house, right? To a house. New York Giants diehard fan.
Yeah.
New York Giants diehard fan, right? I'm gonna go out here real quick with my son and everybody coming home. So New York Giants diehard fan, right? New York Giants diehard fan. He's got a Mike Vick shrine.
Yeah, I believe it.
Okay,
I believe it.
That's how much he changed the game. And let me tell you something about the X's and O's. Real fast.
Yeah, go ahead, break it down.
Certain people at that age learn the X's and O's from Madden.
Yeah. Hey,
never
I was one of them, man. I still played.
Right.
I was a dog. Yes. I'm still a dog.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes. So that's why a lot of people give him a lot of flack, but a lot of people, like, I play football. I play ball. My main thing was always boxing was my, boxing and football was like neck and neck. I love boxing, love it to death. And a lot of people, when you talk to them about a sit down corner, a jump corner, a flat, they don't understand that, right? They don't get those concepts. And when you make fun of that, it's almost like you saying to the people, like, listen, you're stupid, right? You can teach that in a way where it's inviting for everybody. Right? You can say, okay, listen, this is what the offensive line job is. This is what the right tackle does. This is what and kind of break it down to where people can at least take something from it, right?
Right.
The problem is a lot of us don't have that patience like you do. We don't have that patience of the X's and O's sometimes because we just say to ourselves, okay, when is our get back? When is the Super Bowl coming? Like, and sometimes you focus on that so much that you do create a toxic mind. You do create that.
Yeah.
And I apologize to those that think that, but I've been in that stadium where it's 28-2. I've been there with Matt in Giant Stadium when we lost 28-2. I was right here, Drew. This spot right here, right? This spot right here. When the 28-3 happened, my son was a 1 year old, Drew, right here. This spot right here. I'm gonna show everybody this spot right here, right? And as soon as we lost, I couldn't even process the emotion because my son wanted to watch Mickey Mouse in the roaster races right after the game.
Yeah, man.
So nobody can ever tell me that I'm not passionate. Nobody can ever tell me whatever. It's just that our styles are going to clash sometimes.
Yeah.
And styles in a debate is what you need. And I'm trying to tell you, my brother, I'm as much passionate, but as much caring as the next person and the next fan or supporter,
Right.
or whether you're a customer or whether you're just somebody who's a casual fan, you're all welcomed. Every single body is welcomed by my channel, because even the stupidest concept, Drew, even the stupidest concept deserves some respect.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man.
So that's how I feel, my brother.
I agree with you, man. Like I said, that's why they call me the voice of reason over at AFN, because look, like I'm a minister and I believe that everybody like even Mad Mike, I tell people he misunderstood. I say he's misunderstood. The way that he comes off is not the way that I come off. Like I'm more inviting. People feel more comfortable when I say hit the link, they'll hit the link.
Yeah,
when I'm more inviting them, they say hit the link. We couldn't get nobody to come in. When I go by myself and say hit the link, everybody jump in because they just like it's the way that I come off. So I think, like I said, Mike is just misunderstood, and K-Style. I think they might laugh at you and stuff like that, but it's all good. Their way is not my way. Like you said, Wolf, your way is not my way.
Right.
I come at it a whole nother perspective. And some people respect it. Some people don't like my channel.
Exactly.
As much as you be like, how can you like Jew channel? I heard you talking about me on your channel. Like, y'all don't even bring Jew on. Like, Jew ain't did nothing. Nobody. Jew don't take no shots at nobody.
Nobody.
And you know what's crazy? And that's why I tell a lot of people, before I even like became big, Mike hit me up like, hey, he gave me my first shot. Like, come on my platform. I want you to come. I watch your channel. I only had like maybe 50, not even 50 subscribers. He was like, man, you one of my favorite Falcons content creators. He was like, a lot of the bigger content creators are taking your content and then using it because I didn't have a lot of eyes on my channel yet. So if a bigger content creator took my information and put it on their channel, they would think that that's their ideas. But Mike was like, man, I'm seeing your channel, you saying stuff before they even say it. I go watch their channel and your content is being shared. And ain't nobody even mentioned you. Say, hey, I seen this on the Talk Sports channel. And that's why I'm always going to be indebted. And one thing about me, Wolf, like you know this being up north, I'm loyal to the soil, man. I'm loyal. When somebody opened their doors, I told Mike, I never have nothing negative to say about him, AFN. Even if I start doing shows on my own, I never will turn my back on, because he was the first one when everybody, and I can throw them out there pound for pound. All the other ones, I would be in their chat spitting knowledge and stuff. Didn't nobody say, hey man, you want to show? You want to, nobody said nothing. Mike gave a hand like, hey, come on my channel and use his platform. Come on my channel. This is the
problem, Drew. This is the problem. Man. Is when I came in, the first thing that I noticed was the white guys are over there.
Yeah.
The black guys are over there.
Yeah, man.
And there's nothing in between.
Yeah, man. We all got to come together. Like one thing I said about Wolf, about you try to bring everybody together. That's why I call you the promoter, man. When it's beef, like you said, beef don't exist. This ain't the streets. I be like, squash it, man. I got love for everybody. Everybody's welcome on my channel.
Yeah.
If you want to come on my channel and chat.
Hey, Drew, you ever seen that movie Blood In, Blood Out?
No, I ain't seen that. I ain't seen it.
If you watch it, you'll get the concept, right? It's black over here, white over here, and Spanish over here. It's literally we're separating each other, and it's funny how you have the white guys that do great content. You got the blacks, and they can't even get along.
Yeah,
they can't even get along.
It's sad.
So I mean, listen, I try to bring people together just because and I'll say it here on Drew Talk Sports. Me and him will start a GoFundMe. Let's get the Falcoholics. Let's get Pound for Pound. How much they want? How much they want to come on a big black person's platform? I'll start the GoFundMe. What they want? 200, 300, 400, 500. How much money they want? How much money they want, Drew? Ask the question. How much money they want?
Unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world, man. I wish it worked that way, man. That's just the world we live in. I say that all the time. Like, you coming on my show right now, we chatting like we didn't know each other. We don't even personally know each other, but we act like we know each other forever. But it's because I respect everybody. You
Yeah.
a man just like I'm a man. I respect everybody. That's why I said everybody welcome over here on my channel. I
Yeah.
don't care
That's
who
why I
it is.
sat there. I said, wait. I said, wait a minute. I'm watching the fight. I said,
Yeah.
hold up. I said, hold up. My man is you on. I said, no, hold up. And he dropped the link. I said, oh,
Hey.
nah, I gotta go over there. I said, I gotta go. I told baby girl when she walked in, she right there right now. I said, no, I gotta talk to Jew.
Hey,
She
pull
said,
up.
She said, Jew. I said, man, I gotta talk to Jew. I said, I ain't talked to Jew never. I don't think. I think I talked to Jew once. She right there
Nah,
giving
man.
me. She right there right now. Jew giving me the crazy eye, but she know when I come up in here, it's gonna be Razor Ramon, Razor Edge when I walk through this door. So
Yeah,
you know, but I had to pull up on you, brother. Listen, God bless. I hope that
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. You keep on growing as a content creator,
yeah,
as a
man.
minister, as a father. God bless, man. God bless you. Hopefully, we'll have a great conversation on the platform, whether it's your platform, my platform, whatever, and show people how you could come together, how two different
Amen.
coaches could come together. Because I am black, I am Latino, I'm white, I'm Asian. You know,
Hey,
we need to start telling these stories. We need to
that's
start
it,
telling these
man.
stories, man, and start telling these stories as content creators and start telling good stories, man. You know what I mean? So, you know,
Before you roll out, Wolf, plug yourself, man. Y'all
hey,
go support, man. Tell them
hey,
where they can find you.
hey, man, listen, man. You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Wolf Solidified. You can find me on Twitter, Wolf Solidified. I'm gonna get that up and popping. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Wolf Solidified. You already know who it is. Remember to get your life up, not your likes up. That's very important.
Yeah,
Remember to
man.
get your life up, not your likes up. Listen, man, the minister tell you, love and hate can look the same, but it ain't. You feel me?
There it is.
So, you know, yo, Drew, I'm gonna catch you, boy. Much love to
Hey,
you, much respect. Everybody in the chat, salute, man. Yo, support Big Drew, man. You already know what it is, Drew. I'll catch you, brother.
hey,
Salute,
man.
Big Drew.
I appreciate you, bro.
All right, boy. Later,
All right.
man.
Hey, man. With that being said, look, man, y'all definitely go hit that like, subscribe button for my boy Wolf. Hey, like he put out great content, but like I said, man, it's time for us all to come together. All the Atlanta Falcons content creators, y'all go and hit that like, subscribe button. We all supporting the same team. Y'all go hit that like, subscribe button. Support the content creators. We know we don't get that love on ESPN. We know we don't get that love on Fox Sports 1 on these big channels. Y'all go and hit that like and subscribe button for each and every person, man. But like I said, man, I'm the voice of reason. Hey, if whoever is interested in Atlanta Falcons content, football content, tell them to come check out my channel, Jew Talk Sports. Tell them to go check out our channel, the Heavy Hitters Live channel, AFN. Everybody that show love, man, y'all definitely hit that like and subscribe button. Like I said, man, this is why I do it. I do it for the fans to give our Falcons a bigger platform because we know we don't get the credit that we deserve with all of the other teams when it comes to the bigger platform. So this is like the underground for the Atlanta Falcons content. So since we're not gonna get the love on ESPN and on the bigger networks, we gotta continue to come together, and so we can get guys like we've heard Matt Mike say, guys that are former Falcons into the Hall of Fame. Guys like Jesse Tuggle. We gotta start coming together in general. But with that being said, man, I appreciate everybody that jumped in the chat as we start bringing people on. I see my brother come in the chat, man. What's up to my bro VA, man? I appreciate you jumping in. I believe Floyd jumped in. What's going on, Floyd? Man, I appreciate you jumping in. But if you guys want to, jump in and hit the link, I'm pretty much gonna wrap up for tonight. But join me every Saturday at 5 Eastern time for Jews Live at 5. What's the word? Dirty Bird. We're gonna continue to keep this thing rolling. You guys know we got tons of basically every single day we got something going on with AFN. With Mad Mike Sports, K Styles. We doing live shows pretty much every single night. So y'all definitely stay tuned to the channel. Go over tomorrow. AFN, they'll be doing their pregame show as they always do on Sundays. Y'all go check that out as well. Check us out on the Heavy Hitters Live channel on tomorrow for the post-game show. But I'm looking for a really tough game against the Atlanta Falcons and Tennessee Titans. It's going to be one of those tough in the trench type games because we know that Arthur Smith's going back to his old stomping grounds against Mike Vrabel and those Tennessee Titans. With that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Everybody that hit that sent super chats, everybody that hit the Cash App. I really appreciate you guys as well. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.